Let's talk about using the console. Quick and dirty way to kind of test out some code, to do all sorts of stuff, to debug your code, that sort of thing. So Firefox has Firebug. How many of you have used Firebug? Yeah, all right, cool. So I don't really have to get into that too much, right? It has, you probably know what it has, I mean, if you've used it, right? There are a bunch of extensions that go along with it. Like if you're a PHP developer, there's FirePHP, there's FireCookie, which will show you all the cookies and let you quickly do stuff like delete them. OK, Chrome Developer Tools. How many of you use Chrome Developer Tools? OK, not quite as many, but yeah, some there. In many ways, well, I don't know. In some ways, I think it's leapfrogging Firebug. There are things about Firebug that I still really like. I like being able to single click into a style property to edit it instead of having to double click. I don't know. It seems silly, but like when I'm doing it 1,000 times a day, it starts to add up. I think it adds up to 2,000. Anyway, yeah, so there's all sorts of really cool features in Chrome Developer Tools, like live debugging and code changing. There are a lot of hidden goodies in there, and I would encourage you, if you're interested at all in using it and becoming like more of a Chrome developer, I don't know, what do you call it, like people who, a master or whatever. You can check out the DevTools site at Google, but also check out Paul Irish's screencast. It's really good, and he shows some really cool features. I'll just show you a couple. I'm sorry?
That URL doesn't seem to exist.
It doesn't?
No, the video you have requested is not available.
This one? Huh. Looks like it exists. Oh, yeah, anyway, that's Paul. Hi, Paul. All right. Yeah, maybe I did something wrong somewhere. I don't know, but tell you what. Let me do this. OK, so I know this one works because I just tried it. Right? And how can we do this? I have a good idea. Let's do this. Let's have a scratch pad. We'll go to oksoclap.com and we'll say FE masters. Yeah. There we go. OK, so you can grab it from there. So oksoclap.com/FE masters. And let's try that one more time. And yeah, there we go. Good. Got it right. Any questions so far? If you want to drop something in here too, like we can use this as a class discussion board or whatever. You can also chat. Hi everyone. All right. Let's go back here and we'll take a look. Oh yeah, I was going to show you some things in the Chrome DevTools. Let's see. This would be a decent place to do it. OK. So whichever tab, whichever panel you're in, you can bring up the console by hitting the escape key while you're down there and close it by hitting the escape key again. That's kind of nice. You can do that in Firebug too. Here's something else. And Paul Irish, I think, talks about a lot of these things. Inspect element. OK, so let's say I'm inspecting this one, right? And then I want to use that one. And let's say I want to use it with jQuery, right? Like, well, this is going to give me that element, right? And so if I want to use it with jQuery, I could just do this, provided that I have jQuery on the page, right? Dot hide. Hey, it's gone. All right. All right. So using $0 will get the selected element from the DOM viewer into the console for you. Okay, that's a nice thing. When you're working with styles like colors, have you seen this? This is really cool. So say you have the hash thing, right? And or the hex code, and that's really nice. But you can change it by just clicking on the little swatch there, and that might seem kind of dumb at first, but like, okay, so RGB, you know, some people just think in RGB, other people think in hex. I don't know, you know, it's like men are from Mars, women are from Venus or something. And then, but there are situations where it can be really nice to have something like this, like the HSL is really nice. So like if I just wanted to, if I liked this color, but I just wanted to make it a little bit brighter, I would just up the luminance, right? The L. Can you see the links getting lighter? Yeah. And so I'm just holding down the down arrow key, the up arrow key, whatever. Right? And then you can change the hue and the saturation as well. So if I wanted to pump up the saturation to 100%, bam, there we go. And then it'll change it right back to the hex value for you, so you can copy that and do whatever. So check this out too. This is kind of neat. Like if I can go into style sheets, and I can, you can kind of mess around with stuff. Oh, and this is not a very good example because I'm generating a style sheet. But anyway, yeah. So you can make a bunch of changes, and it'll start recording the changes that you make, and then you can right-click on it and save that copy of the style sheet, and then like paste it back into your text editor. So that's really kind of cool. All right, enough of that. Any questions about console stuff? No? You guys are good with that? Cool. Safari, it has a console too. How many of you develop in Safari? Yeah? 1, 2, okay. All right, yeah. So you have to activate this by going to the Preferences menu, Preferences Advanced or something like that, and then saying, give me the developer menu. All right. Yeah, it's very similar. I don't think it's as good. They're not keeping up the pace of development with it. Like maybe eventually they'll roll some of Chrome's changes in, but the Chrome DevTools team is just like, they're going nuts. They're really improving that thing like crazy. So yeah. Okay, and then Internet Explorer 8+ has its own set of developer tools, the F12 developer tools, right? Much, much better than in previous versions of IE, and finally includes a console. Internet Explorer, less than or equal to 7. Well, you have a bunch of these third-party things that are kind of wonky and a little weird, but they're better than nothing. There's a developer toolbar that doesn't have a console in IE7 or lower. There's a script debugger. There's Companion.js. I try to, yeah. I haven't really done very much. I don't even remember what I'm using anymore for these. Typically, what I'll do is, unlike with CSS. Internet Explorer's JavaScript engine didn't change much between IE6 and IE8. It changed a little bit in IE8. It hardly changed at all in IE7. So, like, the idea of dropping support for IE6 makes that makes a lot of sense in CSS terms, but in JavaScript terms, it's like, yeah, well, when you do that, you're also pretty much going to have to drop support for IE7 because the same bugs are in IE7. So, what can you do, right? So, yeah. So, okay, so that's it for tools. Let's talk some bare bones JavaScript. How are you guys feeling? You feeling good? You ready to move on? Yeah. And please, let's have two-way conversation here. You know, like if you want to ask questions or if you want to chime in with a comment, please do. If I say something that's horribly wrong, correct me, okay? I won't be offended. Best compliment I've ever gotten, I think, came last night. When one of my bosses said to me, he said, you know, Carl, you're not a rock star. He said, you're like a studio musician. I was like, yeah, I like that. I really like that. Because, you know, studio musicians are like so much better at what they do than rock stars. I mean, and I don't know if I agree with, I mean, you know, I think his opinion of me is a little exaggerated, but still, it's such a nice compliment. And I bring that up because don't feel weird about like chiming in, okay? Like I'm just like you.